Pacific National is a big business with a big task. There are trains, overhead gantries, forklifts and trucks, all working to keep the freight of Australia moving. When you visit us or come to work with us, you'll see there are safety risks in this business. In the rail business, everything is on the move. We want you to know about those risks and how we can manage those risks. This program details the entry conditions and safety requirements for everybody visiting our sites. Like many organisations, Pacific National has been working hard to make work safe and more efficient for our staff. The more you know about the way Pacific National works, the better will be our chances of working safely together. On entering a Pacific National workplace, you must report to the reception area, sign the visitor's book and, where appropriate, obtain an identification badge. If you're visiting and require regular access, you and your employees and subcontractors must do a site induction. Whoever you are, whatever your work, you'll need an induction. You may also get a non-transferable personalised identification badge. All badges and passes must be worn at chest height and be clearly visible at all times. And because each Pacific National site is different, you'll need a site-specific induction. It's important to be seen, so you must wear an orange fluorescent safety vest or other approved high-visibility orange safety clothing. Safety vests are designed for maximum visibility and the Velcro or zipper must always be fully fastened. Personal protective equipment must be worn as determined by site requirements. For example, eye protection, safety footwear or hard hats may be needed. If you're going to work on high voltage power lines or in confined spaces or such, you'll need to get the relevant work permit. Okay, you've done the preparation and planning. Now what? While travelling in the terminal, you must obey all speed limits and road markings as signposted. Ensure your hazard lights are operating at all times, and please give way to all trains and mobile lifting machines in the terminal. They have right of way. One of the key issues for safety is communication. We want to give you important information and we want you to give us the same important information. You must report all safety, health and environmental incidents. If there is an accident, tell us fast. If you find hazards, tell us. If you find someone working unsafely or something that is unsafe, report it to a Pacific National representative or the site manager. Pacific National has important signs around the workplace that mean what they say. There are restricted areas. Read them. With all the trains around, it's crucial to use proper entry and exit points. There's also information for you on notice boards, booklets and the Pacific National intranet site. You need to be trained and alert when working on or around tracks. There are locomotives and wagons moving in different directions. If you're driving vehicles, plant or equipment, you should only cross railway tracks at authorised crossings. Only park in designated areas. All throughways and gantry operating areas are to be kept clear at all times. Because of the size of these mobile lifting machines, their manoeuvrability and visibility are limited. We can see them better than they can see us. So, mobile lifting equipment and other terminal vehicles have right of way at all times. You need special skills to operate locomotives, wagons and lifting equipment. You must keep off the equipment. Do not climb on or walk between wagons because they may move at any time without warning. All rail lines are to be kept clear at all times. No person or equipment is to be within 3 metres of any rail tracks. There are other track hazards. For example, when you walk on the ballast, you run a risk of tripping or straining. You either need to undertake some further training to work on the tracks or you'll need to be with a Pacific National supervisor. When crossing tracks, always step over the rails. Never step on the rail or else serious injury may result. You might be using hazardous chemicals. Pacific National workers need to know if you're bringing hazardous material into their workplace. We need material safety data sheets. So if something happens, we'll know what the material is and we can deal with it quickly. You can help save lives and the environment. Electricity at high voltage is a force to be reckoned with. Some Pacific National sites have 1500 volt overhead power lines. If you are going to work on or near them, you need a permit and special procedure. You'll also need to keep a safe working distance of 3 metres for both machines and people. People at Pacific National have established emergency response procedures. For your safety, you should know about the Pacific National emergency and evacuation procedures. You and your workmates should identify the first aid locations before you start work. Should there be an emergency, a warning alarm or siren may be sounded and you'll be directed to an evacuation point where you must make your presence known to an emergency warden. In an emergency, please follow the instructions of Pacific National staff. The environment is important to us all. You can help too. Pacific National has methods for preventing spills. For example, all liquids are stored in bunded areas. Most important, you need to dispose of your waste properly. Drains are for stormwater only. All other liquid waste must be disposed of in accordance with EPA guidelines or permits. You are responsible for minimising and disposing of all waste generated on site. For the sake of all other workers and neighbours, we need to keep noise, dust and vibration to a minimum. Environmental management is an important component of our site safety, health and environmental management plans. There may be areas within the site that are protected for animals and plants. You must not enter protected vegetation areas and you must not remove or disturb any plants or animals. Fires must not be lit on the site for any purpose unless authorised in writing by Pacific National. All machinery brought onto the site is to be cleaned of soil and weeds before commencing operation. Pacific National has developed a drug and alcohol policy. It's prohibited for anyone to be under the influence of alcohol or any performance-inhibiting drug on a Pacific National site. We randomly conduct both alcohol and drug testing. You may be required to participate in testing while on site. Pacific National has a no smoking policy on all property. Refer to the policy for further information. We have to control the safety on our site, so while you're on our sites you must follow directions from Pacific National. You will be removed from the site if you're considered to be working in an unsafe manner or if you're endangering your own safety or the safety of employees or property, or if you're guilty of misconduct, or if you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Let's sum up. Here's the do's and don'ts of safety. Do. Sign in on arrival and out on departure. Wear the appropriate PPE in the correct manner. Observe all speed limits, direction and warning signs. Display hazard lights. Remain in your vehicle and proceed directly to your designated area. Pedestrians follow and keep within marked walkways. Keep throughways and all mobile equipment operating areas clear. Give way to mobile cranes and terminal vehicles. Consider our neighbours and eliminate unnecessary noise. Do not smoke or be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Climb on locomotives, wagons or mobile lifting equipment. Walk between wagons. Drive or walk under lifted containers. Drive across gantry crane tracks. Walk on top of rails. Remove or disturb any plants or animals. Pacific National talked with experienced contractors, managers and team members to produce these safety procedures. We want to make your visits safe, for you and for us.